Hello, everyone. This is Brad Bolenbaugh, otherwise known as Zeromorph, the lead developer of Apostle Games, coming to you live from North Carolina of the United States. And this is video developer log number 1, hopefully in a long list of developer logs. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to get started by showing you guys some gameplay footage of the large open world that we've created here. And while that's playing, I want to talk about what exactly is Age of Tribulation. So AOT, for short, is a dark fantasy open world sandbox roguelite. And notice I say rogue-lite with a T and not roguelike with a K, and I'll explain why we use the term roguelite as opposed to the other one. This game is based on the Book of Revelation from the Holy Bible. Anyone who's familiar with prophecy in the end times, the world is going to be essentially taken over by evil, and good and righteousness will be persecuted. And that's really the mainstay in this title. You are going to play the role as an apostle. Now you're going to be an apostle and not opposed to the apostle. So there are going to be other apostles, other righteous warriors in the world that you can collaborate with to destroy this new and shadowed, secretive, dark evil that's taking over the land. And that's really at the core of the synopsis of this game. So let's talk about some of the core features of this game and kind of how this game stands on its own. So as I said earlier, it is an open world sandbox game. You can go anywhere at any time. It's also a CRPG, C meaning a classic RPG. I'm going back to the old 8-bit Nintendo system, to games like Zelda, Dragon Warrior, and this game is going to be kind of a mix of the two. It's going to be like Zelda in the fact that it's an open world. You can walk around anywhere you want. You're going to see enemies roaming around, but it's going to be like Dragon Warrior in the fact that instead of like throwing a boomerang or arrow or chopping them up with a sword, when you engage, when you come together with those animated enemy sprites, you will then go off to a different scene and go into turn-based combat, which I'll be showing you guys a little bit later in this devlog. Another big feature of this game is permadeath. Now, don't be too scared about permadeath, and this is why we call this game a roguelite with a T instead of a roguelike. We're going to have meta progression in this game, meaning that as you play with your character, you're going to be gaining points that you can use, that if you were to die and start a new character, you're going to be able to use those points to salvage some of the things and still gain power overall. So when you die, not all is lost. And that's kind of a main feature of roguelike titles, where you lose everything when you die. I'm not really a big fan of that, but at the same time, I do want death to be something that is not fun. So I think this is a good balance between the two. So even though you're controlling just one character in this game, you are able to hire out mercenaries. Now, these mercenaries will be controlled by you, but these are not righteous, holy mercenaries. These guys are not apostles. They are part of the corrupt world system, and they're fighting for you only for pay. So as long as you continue paying them, they will be loyal to you, and you can depend on them, and they will level up as you level up, and you can buy them equipment, you can invest in them, but once they die, that's it. They're dead. So you really, really want to focus on keeping those mercenaries alive. Another big feature of this game, one that I'm particularly proud of, is that all the environments are actually being hand-drawn by me, which is why it's kind of taking a long time to develop this title. All the portraits in the game, from the NPCs to the enemies, are all going to be sketched as well. So the art style, which is based on kind of a late Victorian Baroque kind of style, with a lot of scrolls and paper and just that real old weathered look. I think it looks really good. yeah, I'm really, really proud of it, but it is very time consuming. Another feature that I'm proud of is the new advanced lighting system in the game, which works in tandem with the day-night cycle. And so the world is based on a 24-hour clock, just like we have here. And you have in the mornings, it's dark, kind of has a red hue. As the day goes on, you go into later morning, and then you go into the afternoon, which is the brightest part of the day. And then you start going into early evening, which kind of has a more reddish tint, into the late evening, and then eventually the last stage is nighttime. And the times of day will dictate not only the number of enemies that you encounter, but also the strength, like the level and the tier of those enemies. But it also affects loot drops. So you can expect to get better treasure, better weapons, better kinds of loot at night that you would during the day. So the times of day that you choose to go out and fight and explore the world, which is completely up to you, will also dictate how much loot you can get. Another big part of the game is going to be its story, along with its rich lore. There's a lot of games out there that are really, really fun to play. They're really cool. But if you don't have a reason for doing what you're doing, it kind of feels pointless after a while. Like, why am I here? There's really no point. And that's really where a big story, a well thought out story, and also a lot of background information, within the lore. So that's something we're still working out, but that's going to also be a big part of this game. The last big part are the basic crafting and survival elements of this game. So crafting is very simple right now. You're going to be able to upgrade your armor and your weapons, but we're looking to also kind of push the envelope in that area. And really, we would like to get feedback from you guys, the fans, on what you guys want to see, how to implement this stuff. We have ideas, but we don't always have the best ideas. And so we kind of want to open this up to the community in a forum-like way where we can just really talk about and decide what's the best way to go about, crafting, and then also survival as well. Eating, sleeping, drinking, the basics, that's something we also want to do, but we're not exactly sure how to implement that the best way. So again, get involved with this game. We're in the early development process of this game, which is the best time for you guys to get in, make comments, make posts, get on YouTube, get on the Steam forums, get on Discord. That's another one. We have all three of those platforms that we can talk to you on. So we highly encourage you to get involved and help us make the game the best game for you. Okay, guys, so here we are. This is a first look at the menu system of Age of Tribulation. You've got your character portrait inside this nice looking Baroque book. Here, you have a slot for your first mercenary and your second mercenary. You've got this portrait of a demon-looking character, but on top of that is going to be where all of you, like lots of different stats, the days, what time it is, how much food you have, all that good stuff over here. You have an item tab up here, and if we go in here, you've got your items, your weapons, apparel, and your satchel. We don't have too many items created yet, but we do have a lot of weapons. As you can see, like this isn't even all of them. But yeah, we've got, let's take a look at these iron claws. And yes, we are having fist weapons in this game, as well as two-handed, single-handed, all sorts of different kind of stuff. But you've got your portrait here, what the item looks like. You've got your status effects, a description, and your actual item stats here. You've got your apparel tab. These are all the different things that you can put in your offhand or wear. So you've got like these helmets, and you got a torch, a candle, a lantern, all these different things. Nothing in the satchel just yet. You got your skills, which is broken down into either physical skills or spiritual gifts. These are physical, these are supernatural, and then you have your passive abilities over here. We have the character tab up here, which I am particularly proud of. This took a long time to do, but it works and it's nice. You've got, of course, your name, all of your regular statistics, all of this different stuff in here, which I'm not going to go into today. We'll get into that later. But if you click on the equipment tab, you go down into your paper doll or your silhouette here. You've got 12 different items that you can equip, including down here the light source, as I was talking about. Like, let's go ahead and equip this lantern. There we go. Everything's got a sound effect. We'll put on the Serf's tunic on our torso. You've got your main hand, which we'll go ahead and put on. Let's see here. Which weapon? Let's put a spiked flail. Yeah. That just sounds nice. And then you have your offhand weapon, which could be a shield, or let's say you're playing more of a like cleric or priestly character. You could have a book, a rune stone, a crystal, all sorts of different kinds of things. So we'll go ahead and back out of here, and let's go into the combat system. And here you have, oh, I just got slapped in the face. Oh, twice. Man, that is rough. So we got our 3 enemies here. We got a thug, a goon, a ruffian. All the stats, the level of the enemy, the tier, their health. This is a calculation cheat sheet, because everything is like based on mathematical calculations in this game. These are for people who really, really like the strategy side of things. Here's a description box, your physical skills, your spiritual gifts, your fortify ability, different items that you can, ingest during combat. You have a status atlas, which opens up this book. Look at all the different statuses. We got like a million of them, and these are all subject to change, but we got your bonuses, your penalties. You can escape from combat, and then of course this is your character. This empty spot will be your first mercenary. This other spot will be your second mercenary. And before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to give a shout out to a friend of mine, a fellow solo indie developer, goes by the name of Bobby Two Hands. He released his title on Steam called Shadows of Forbidden Gods. It's a strategy game where you play as a dark god who's trying to corrupt humanity, which is kind of funny because in this game, in Age of Tribulation, you play as the good guy, and in Shadows of Forbidden Gods, you play as the bad guy. But the two kind of synopsis kind of blend together. Actually, I kind of stole some of my ideas from Bob because his ideas are just so good. So go check out his Steam page, download his game. It's incredible. The link is in the description on YouTube. All right, guys. Well, I had a fun time today. I hope you guys learned a lot, had a good time as well. Please wishlist Age of Tribulation. If you're interested in this game, it helps put us on the front page of Steam. Join us on Discord. Also, subscribe on YouTube. Leave your comments and your questions. I'd love to hear feedback from you guys. You're getting in on the very bottom level of the development phase, so you can really alter the way this game is developed by just talking to me. I really want feedback from the community of what you guys are looking for. This is a community project for gamers, by gamers. So, all right, guys, you guys have an awesome week, and I will talk to you later. God bless.